Our dear brother and sister, I am Visit Simseri. Today is very good opportunity to share the word of God with you. Let's see what we have to share with you today. Sharing the word of God uh, today. Let's see. What 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 is it that we want to share with you. Okay, let's see. Today, the word of God that we want to share with you is found in Colossians chapter 3:16. Here is said, "Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly, in all wisdom, teaching and admonishing one another in psalm and hymn and spiritual song, singing with grace in your hearts to the Lord." So here the key word is that Christ dwell in you. That's the key word. Christ dwell in you. So we today that we here is said that Christ dwell in you, or the word of God dwell in you. So if the word of God dwell in you, what it means that we have the interest in the word of God. We have the interest of righteousness. We have the interest of salvation. That's why we open our arm and invite the word of God to dwell in us. The word of God dwell in us. That is so good. Just like Jesus standing by the door and knocking, and if we open the door, Jesus will come in and be with us. So can you imagine, if we have the word of God, if we have Jesus in our life, in our heart, what kind of person we will be? Of course, we will be guided by the word of God, and we will be protected by the word of God. We know that Jesus always quote the word of God to to when Jesus confronted by Satan, to overcome Satan. So if the word of God dwell in us, that means that we should be able to use the word of God as a weapon to overcome Satan. Also, the word of God can give us peace. We find that in Matthew 11:28. Let's check. Matthew 11 over here said, let's see, Matthew 11:28. Jesus said, what? Jesus said, "Come unto me." That means the word of God is inviting us. So if we have the word of God, here is said, all your labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. That means the word of God will give us rest. We have the word of God in us, just like we have Jesus in us. So we have Jesus in us, or we have the word of God in us. So we will have rest. And so our yoke, Jesus said, "Take my yoke upon you and learn of me." So that means we just take the word of God as our yoke, just like take the yoke of Jesus. So once we take the yoke of Jesus, or take the yoke of the word of God, so we will be become a meek person and lowly in heart, and then we will find the rest of our soul. Because Jesus said, "My burden is light." So the word of God, the burden of the word of God is light. So if we have the word of God in our heart, so we don't have that heavy burden. So then we're going to have peace of mind. And the word of God not only give us all the wisdom and knowledge, but the word of God protect us from from evil, from Satan. So here Jesus, God invite us to keep the word of God. So we should open our arm and welcome and receive the word of God to be in us, in our heart. Today, the message to share the word of God is found in Colossians chapter 3:16. Remember, the word of God dwell in you. Okay, thank you.